That guy's following me over. He used one of his dashes. I'm gonna bring up the absorber. I block all this damage, fire everything that I've got in my weapon, stay in the absorber as long as I can, and then with 700,000 damage done, boots. Oh my goodness, did you see what I just did with that poor guy? What's up, friends? This is Manni, and welcome to one of the most fun trolling prime sword unit builds you can do with Discipline and Smite, the Ward Drone, and the full trolling yummy goodness. The fact that you don't need line of sight to do a lot of damage to your enemy, you can force them out of their abilities to use them, and so on, and then you can still jump on them with that sword if you really have to. Block the damage with the absorber, hack away at them, and so on. This is definitely not a meta build, right? If you want the strongest sword unit, you're not putting these weapons on, but this is certainly trollish as heck and so much fun to do. So if you're up for it, join me here on this video, friends, and see how much fun these weapons can be. Unfortunately, like, he's running away, and I've just realized that the Ohokochi is a robot you can't really attack with the sword unit, because every time you jump on him, he will basically just push you away, right? You can't catch him with the frickin' sword. But it's okay, I can hit him with these weapons here and catch him like this. I don't need line of sight. I'm trolling like a legend here. Alright, and so this is kind of the theme of this video here, is that we're trollish as heck. Alright? And you've also seen probably this video where I think I called it like, this would make a great last video if I wanted to, or something like this, where I also ran this setup in free-for-all, and I was freaking dominating it. I was killing everything left and right, including Titans, which, of course, I got lucky to not have like the most powerful crazy things in this matchup against me. And if there were powerful things, they were fighting each other, right? Titans would be fighting each other, and I just come in and swoop the kills out, and so on, right? So I got really lucky in many regards, but the end result was nonetheless an insanely good match where I could just dominate like crazy with this build here. And here in Beacon Rush or Beacon-based game modes, I can actually move forward here and do a ton of damage to the enemy too. Here's an Orochi now coming in. He's angry with me that I just shot him. I'm going into my ability and I'm just slashing him away. Even if he was going into stealth, you know, doesn't matter, I get him. A Typhon robot just tried to shield break me, I think, but I already pressed the button to go down. Now I'm being hunted by several enemies, but it's okay, because I can just fall down here, fall back to this little, I don't know, whatever this is where I'm standing on, like a dam or something, and just come from here, and snack! Go away, buddy! I gotcha! And, yo, this is funny as hell. Seriously, this is currently one of my most favorite builds in War Robots. Maybe this is even what I'm gonna call the video. I mean, just look what I'm doing! I'm getting kills all over the place without even looking at the enemies, you know? And if they decide to attack me, I still have that ability ready with a relatively decently short cooldown, you know? And another thing is, I believe this setup is not necessarily completely broken, you know? There is, oh my goodness, look what I'm doing to the poor guy, jeez. That definitely looked broken, but compare this to the arm weapon version of this, or even Layani or whatever those weapons are called. Some of the other newer things are way more dominant and powerful. This is more like a trolling thing that, however, can work out really well. And you know how much I like running things where I don't feel like, oh, this is so broken now, I just one-shot everything, you know? And while this can be fun for a video or so, generally, I rather like to have some trolling gameplay, or maybe to apply some skills to my gameplay to be more effective, you know? Yeah. And so we're definitely doing a little bit of that here in this video. I don't know what this is, maybe a some jock? Yeah, it seems to be a some jock, but I just keep firing at him, thinking he might eventually come out of his ability, and when that is the case, then hopefully I'm gonna hit him. Or we're just gonna jump up and just taking the chance, right? Just take the chance, come in, swoop, and gone. Nice. Alright, I got an assist for that. You know, those sun jocks, they don't leave you a lot of openings, at least not yet. After the rebalance patch that comes in sometime soon, I have made a full video about it if you haven't yet seen it. In the top right corner, I'm linking it for you, where you see all the information about the upcoming balance changes for War Robots that include nearly every robot. And oh my god, that damage. Ooh! Oh, I face shifted too late. He hit me really hard with those shock trains. Thankfully, maybe those probably weren't ultimate shock trains. Otherwise, I would be dead. But, yo, Broski has no chance, man, because I can just hit him and follow him with those rockets. Oh, this is so good. This is really fun to play. If you get the chance, maybe on the test server, maybe you even have the option on the live server, guys, give it a try. I feel like you're gonna like that setup, seriously. I think you're really going to like it. The fact that you can do this, you know, unfortunately he's able to stay in his ability. If that would have been a different robot, I would have gotten that kill as well. And now I see the Titans coming in, and I know what that means. Unfortunately, with this robot, you can't walk away from enemies using your ability, right? Because you're always going to teleport back to where you started. So it is impossible for me to use my mobility now to jump away from the enemy here. And I know the Titans are approaching, so I believe my last moments are here. The last moments of this Titan, of this robot. But maybe I can dish out some decent damage before it happens. Maybe I can be a little annoying to them, right? Bum 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 bum. I did a little bit of extra damage. Here comes the enemy Ravager. I'm gonna try and walk away from it with a phase shift. Let's see. Alright, alright. So far I'm still here. Okay, okay. That guy's following me over. He used one of his dashes. I'm gonna bring up the absorber. I block all this damage. Fire everything that I've got in my weapon. Stay in the absorber as long as I can. And then with 700,000 damage done, Voots. Voots. Oh my goodness. Did you see what I just did with that poor guy? Unfortunately, this guy was just waiting for me to come back out of my teleport. But dude, that is just crazy. Show me one fun trolling Vortex or Smite Discipline build that can just dispatch of a Mauler Titan like this if he has to, you know? That is the way to go when you run trolling Titan builds, trolling rocket builds such as this, without being completely pushover against all these other things, you know? So I'm trying to hit that luchador, but it's very difficult to get a lock onto him. Ugh! Getting stuck here at the frickin' walls. Then there's this guy coming in. I got locked, which means I can't use my ability, which means I can't enter into stealth. Ugh! Sucks. Can he hit me? How does he hit me here? And I still die through the thing. But okay, the match is over anyways. Let's see how much we've done 7 million damage in this time. That is crazy, but I've done like 1.5 million only against the end Mauler there, right? That is crazy. I wish I could have also hit the Devourer Titan like this, but for that you would need the Seeker Drone, I guess. You would need the Seeker Drone, and then you could also do something similar to the Devourer Titan, because now you see him in stealth, right? If you catch him after using his Chain Link ability, then you can really do a number on him. I might actually go and try this robot with the Seeker Drone sometime soon, because there are just too many of those dang Devourers and Ravagers everywhere. Or even Dux robots and whatever, they all have stealth. This makes it very difficult to perform well against them, right? But yeah, so also I just started to read a few comments on the recent video that I just released for the Mech Assemble game that I've played. I've turned the video in a sideways format, which should allow all those of you, 90% of you watching on mobile streams, to turn the game horizontal or vertical and just enjoy full screen. But the first comments I got was like, Manny, you made a mistake, this is awful, you shouldn't do that. Is it a few comments from those of you who watch on mobile only, on PC only, which obviously that doesn't work? Yeah, I just feel like putting a vertical format game into a horizontal view just means that it's like a super tiny view you got there. Not sure how to do it. I want to maybe make more video content with this game because it's really fun to do. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for your feedback under the videos to see how to proceed with that. So this is gonna be a short situation, but one that was fun. I was suppressed, unfortunately, couldn't really do a lot of damage, but I just did 1 million damage to physical shields. 1 million damage. Behind me is the typical Sumjock, which I think I can take on. And then we have these guys there. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Not able to jump on him with the sword, but I can come back here. Oh boy. Now I'm getting into trouble with that guy, but I can bring up my ability one more time and maybe kill him. Let's go. Full attack, snap, and Voots. One-shot Ravager drop. Very nice. But I think now I'm gonna die. Oh yeah, and we have a hacker. Nice. Oh, I love those. Gotta love those hackers. Good that they're here in the game. It's so they add so much to the game. Especially 90% of them seem to be running a Raptor for hacking, you know. But I'll never get why they do it. I never understand, because, you know, maybe if you're like really upset with the game, you do it for like a couple of hours, maybe to get back at Pixonic or something. But to do this like a lot and continuously and always fall back to this hacking, like why? It's not even playing a game at that point. It's like, yeah, you may as well just play a single player game and just cheat, because it's not, people can't fight back. But I guess it's the fact that other real human beings are on the other side of the receiving end of this garbage, unable to do anything against that. I guess that is probably the attractive part for the hackers. It's like they feel powerful, they can't be beaten, but there is no challenge to it, and that's what I don't understand, you know. Typically a game is interesting because there is a certain challenge to it that you have to overcome, be it a single player game or a multiplayer game. Typically the fun part is to really be good at it, right? Or at least that's for me. To know what I'm doing, to be good at what I'm doing, and to win based off maybe my know-how, my timing, my skills. But for a hacker, that's not the point. Yeah, maybe it's just not for me to understand what's behind that. But then again, we're playing War Robots, a game where like 70% of your match outcome is decided by what you're running, right? So isn't that kind of similar in some regards to being like a hacker versus people with less powerful gear? I guess that you could look at it this way too, right? Oh man, I'm being philosophical today. While casually dropping some things with stupid beholder battleships that shouldn't even be here to begin with. I'm gonna be dead now. Yeah, here he comes. My doom. But yeah, I had a decent amount of kills done. Again, let's hop back onto the new map here. I wanted to say Abyss. What's the name? Vortex? No. Oh, I forgot the name of this map. Oh, there's an invader. Oh, I love shooting invaders because they are such damage sponges. You just get so much damage for your stats when shooting them, because they bring in like 800,000 health without resistance, most of them, unless they're ultimate invaders, and you just can bring so much firepower to your stats. All right. Crazy that I had more than 400,000 HP. Remember that back in the days, a robot with 150,000, that was like mid-level HP. You would have sometimes 120,000, 140,000 on the low end, then 140 to 180,000 HP was already pretty much. That was already a decent HP pool. And above 220,000, that was like tanks. The Leo had that. I think the Lancelot reached some like 185,000 or something, right? Plus the Ansel, if you had that. And the Lancelot was already a tanky bot with the physical shields on top. So it's crazy where the game has become. And remember that Pixonic is doing a lot to prevent this power creep, right? Where the power just keeps rising into unlimited levels. How do they prevent the power creep? They try to do that by constantly nerfing what was previously so powerful, right? If they didn't nerf what was previously powerful and always made the new thing being 50% more powerful than the previous, you would power creep the game into a level where anything that isn't, you know, released within 1 year or so is basically unplayable. You just step on it and it dies. And they prevent that by constantly nerfing the previous gear, which is infuriating as well as effective at the same time in preventing this constant unlimited power creep going on. But yeah, like I said, very infuriating and very wrong towards the customers that have purchased gear with in-game or real currencies. Yeah. I guess what we need is just generally more fair equipment being released, and then the power creep doesn't need to be so powerful, and so on. But here, we're running something that's fun, that's not so powerful. The robot is, but the weapons are, I would say, mediocre. They can be really annoying, but they can also be very weak. Like, if you just run fast enough, you fly fast enough, or you bring something that's up to date, generally, I really have a hard time dealing with you. But here, look at that. Zap! Snap! And there goes the Ravager. Even if he goes into stealth, I will still be able to kill him, because I don't need to see him to hit him with that sword. So, accidentally took a teleport onto the center beacon, but I guess that was a really well-played Imugi. You know? Just snapping me onto the center beacon like this is really interesting. Now, I know he's gonna lose his fuel. I'm activating Battleship to instantly kill him when he comes out of this. And that worked very well. I got rid of the some jock there. Very nice kill. In that case, I'm glad I had that overpowered Battleship, because that some jock would otherwise be extremely nightmarish to take down. So yeah, good that I could use it against him. You know, which is always a thing, right? If you have overpowered gear and you run it against same overpowered stuff, you could argue it's kind of okay at that point, right? But if you run it against something older, something weaker, things change a little. Yeah, and I'm always the kind of guy who really loves equal conditions. That is one thing I like on the test server, is that you have fair conditions. Like, you have the same power than the other guys, right? So that makes test server gameplay actually pretty fun in many ways. Although as of late, the test server is kind of, yeah, being a little difficult to play with too. Because you have certain builds that are being used very much, like, for instance, the Ravager regulator build, right? That makes it difficult to test new robots very often. Alright, so we're in the flight one more time. I have not gotten killed just yet. Unfortunately, I could not drop. I guess I should have jumped there, because then I would have been able to enjoy my absorber longer and maybe attack the Ravager also with the sword. But yeah, thanks for watching this fun trolling build. Hope you had a fun time, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you around. Manni signing off. Bye bye, my friends.